Hey y'all, what it up? What it is? What's up? How you living? This is Marquise Davon. Keys, never call me Mark. You already know what it is. And so this is just like because keeping it a bean can be variety. It's really whatever I want to talk around. And one of the things I'm super passionate about is art, music, performance, video, film, all of that stuff. So I really wanted to kind of just have fun and, topics be heavy. So why not just relax and chill out a bit, right? So today, what I'm going to be doing is dissecting a couple of like performances that I really enjoy, some that I may not like as much, and it'll be a range of different artists that I just personally respect at this time and that I just appreciate their level of performance. I do love a very good performance. I'm very hard on performances as well. I attribute that, and y'all know if you've been rocking with me for the last 6 years, it's a lot of the stuff that is involved with like how I approach theater. And for me, every piece of intention matters, and that's how I look at performance. I'm looking at the intention. I'm looking at, can you tell there's been rehearsals? Okay, have you been practicing? How are you thinking around cameras? How are you thinking around choreography? How are you thinking about costuming? How do you think about staging? Messaging, intent, like all of that goes into a really, really solid performance for me. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna react to some stuff I'm enjoying. The first time I'm seeing a couple of these clips really out, and just chilling. So you get to see me geek out a little bit. I hope you geek out with me. Let me know your thoughts, all the different things, and these should be just quick, fun videos, just to, just, just so you can enjoy and just breathe and hang out with me and see like how my mind works a little bit. So the first video I'm going to be looking at, and you already know I had to kick it off with my GOAT, Beyoncé. She is, to me, one of the top level performers of intention and includes a full theatrical performance that does not require just spectacle. She can sit there if she needs to. She can perform if she needs to. She knows when to let her dancers go. There's a very specific showmanship that she has that I think more people just need to continue to take note of and learn how to adapt it to their styles, right? And I noticed that as I'm looking at like the BET Awards that just happened and also looking at her tour performances, but also just being a student of what she does. And so I hope you just enjoy this as much as I do. We're going to get into it. The first video we're going to get into is her live performance of COZY on the Renaissance World Tour. And we'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch, and then we're going to go through together, all right? And it's dope. So like as you're watching her, you can see her looking at the camera. But one thing I really, really appreciate is that she performs not only for an audience, but she performs for this camera and these two robotic arms that come in. She just lets the sizzle happen. People get to hear the song. They know it's coming. Before we all fully get into that, the reason I geek out around like these robot arms and you being able to explicitly see the robot arms be wheeled out by her crew, like that requires timing, right? But it's also very Brechtian, right? There is no illusion to how these arms appeared. There's no special effects on how these arms appeared. There's no space for your imagination to go. And when you think around Brechtian, if you're a theater historian or theater geek, this is somebody who really focused on like demystifying the illusion of theater. You're going to see the mechanisms. You're going to see how it works because oftentimes I'm also probably going to give you a lesson in the middle of this performance, right? So this is not letting you, I'm letting you know like you are entering this world, but you're going to see how this world has to function in order to see my greatness, in order to understand the message of this. And so I geek out a little bit because I love when people can just see all the mechanisms go, but it won't take them out of the world of the performance right here. And I think she does a really, really great job of that in terms of like the performance style, but also being a history buff in terms of like what she is particularly like looking for in a performance. So I love, love, love seeing the crew just bring everything out and being able to see like, yeah, you're going to see all of this, but this is not going to take away from this performance at all. If anything, it will add to it. So just want to name that quick. Now let's get into her a little. Hitting every beat. Boom. Every accent matters. Boom, and those arms come down. boom, boom, boom. Everything matters, right? Even as she does the dagger. This is quite literally her face card. Boom, 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 walk. She knows what she's doing here. Comfortable in her skin, hanging around. And you see, like, as she decides to play around with her voice a little bit more, now she's purposely talking around. She has a little bit of arrogance to her voice, but it's arrogance and allure, right? They hate me. They want me. Right? Like, that is important because how she phrases that, it's tantalizing. You want to draw in. She's almost playing as like this siren, like, you are claiming that you don't want me and you're trying to resist that because I am fully existing in who I am. And you are drawn to me fully being who I want to be, but something in your brain's like, how are you living in your fullness? And that's the idea of Cozy, right? Remember, it's still like a very queer and very trans affirming song. This is very much so like live in your fullness, no matter what anybody's going to say, because ultimately people are going to still desire that because you're comfortable with who you are and they're trying to achieve that very thing that you're existing in very out loud. Like, and I love how it's just like, they hate me. They want me. Like, I remember learning in theater, like, if you're going to say specific words or say specific phrasing, like, let your body flow along with that. And she does that. So anytime we were just like, yeah, I'm thinking about this thing, and I was just going real slow, and I just got low with this. And you see, like, even as you talk around it, like, yeah, I got real high the other day. Like, see, and you play around with the placement of your voice, and she does that in music. And so she quite literally becomes a physical manifestation of what she's singing about. And that is great performance. That is great spectacle. That makes you fully commit to what she is talking about. That's why she's the GOAT, right? Let's keep getting into it. Been down, been up, been broke down, bounce back. Been off, been on, been bad. What you know about that? Been the light, been the dark, been the truth, been that king in the dream. Come on, framing. Everything can also just be an image. Boom, choreography. And then she adds on when she repeats phrases. Come on, lethal. This is now a power anthem. She became a superhero in this moment. She's the superhero that people need to be themselves. She's giving permission. She's letting them bear witness. Switch up. Look at her. That's her fans, her audience. So paying me. Boom. And it's just fun choreography just to play around, but also just hit when she needs a hit. Yep. Who she is. Boom. And then hit the soft, hit the soft, hit, boom, hit the soft, hit, now turn. What? Ah. And she knows what she's doing. And then she go to sleep. When I tell you, like, there is like precision within that performance. There is spectacle within the performance. There's choreography. There's moments for everybody to just exist in her world and play around in that world. And that, John, is fire, right? Like it's impossible for us not to appreciate that level of performance level, but it's also like an excellence that's there. She's taking time. She knows when to breathe and have fun and improvise. And the other spaces that are like, nah, we're going to like blast off into energy as well. That to me is just like bonkers, but there is a level of precision. Like even as much fun as she's having, she's also very rehearsed in this too. And that is evident. Her dancers going from like the very soft movement to the hard movement to like the push and the pull, all of that stuff right there, it hits. The costuming, the staging. Remember, you're back, you're Renaissance. You're thinking around the disco. You're thinking around aliens. You're thinking around Afrofuturism. All of that is very apparent in this because now she is able to create the world that she dreams of, the one that she imagines she's existing in. One where people are affirmed consistently. And that through line happens throughout this entire Renaissance album. But now she's bringing us into the world of the Renaissance. And that right there, excuse me, that right there is just high level performance that nobody can deny. That. And so this is the kind of stuff that I do hope more artists do start to think around is like, what is the world that I want to bring you into and how does this operate? And there are a few artists who are doing that right now that I can't wait to like dissect a little bit more. But Beyonce's Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour and COZY performance in particular is the one where I was just like, she needs to be in line with these robot arms. She needs to see that she's creating a literal face card. She needs to be able to move around with it. She needs to know when to stay still and allow the world to play around her when she then takes command of the world then too. All of that execution is beautiful. And I can't do nothing more than a chef's kiss, but I cannot wait to personally see this live next month because this right here, so if you are a fan of me doing more of these dissections, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm gonna knock out a couple more just to play around a little bit. You feel me? So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll definitely be back for another one. Great. Peace.